computer. All right, guys, welcome to our Monday night Zoom. Hopefully you guys were here last Monday and or got to watch last Monday's Zoom where I went way over time. And we talked a lot about creating a vision and how to go about creating a vision, whether it be for your life, your business, your future. And creating a vision is very different than creating goals. Like goals are targets that you aim for. A vision is how the whole thing feels. So I use the comparison of when you're trying to like redecorate a room, it's because it will visually look different. And in that process, it's going to feel the way you want it to feel. Might feel modern, might feel sleek, might feel cozy. So anyway, so I won't go back over all that, but if some of this is Greek to you, just know it's on the YouTube and you can go back and look. So I challenged Samantha, Lindsay, Shantae, myself. That might have been it. I can't remember. I could be blacking out here. I challenged them to also come up with a vision for their team. And you guys, it's not an easy thing to do. So those of you that I challenged, I do encourage you to share it with your team if you haven't already, what your vision is, because I just think it's such a good practice, first of all, to go through as a leader to make sure you're keeping the big picture in your sights the whole time. Because it's very easy to get bogged down with the details. Maybe a promo, maybe somebody's mad about DFT residue. Maybe somebody, is shooting for 12K and you're like, blah, blah, blah. So it's really important to have that vision. So after I got mine done, I thought, well, I'm just going to share it with the team. So this will probably be pretty quick. Oh, I should open the chat. I'm so bad about that. I'm going to open the chat. Okay. This will probably be a fairly quick, probably not, I like to talk. I'll try to make it quick because we do have a training right after this with Paul. I think I read that right. It was 7 Central, so it's 8 Eastern. Someone nod their head and tell me if I'm right. Okay. So I'll try not to keep you on here long so you can get onto that one too. But it's funny how everybody did their visions kind of differently. Lindsay's was the best. She's not on here for me to even talk about this, but she literally voice clipped free flow thoughts as they came to her while in the bathtub. And I'm not like that. I'm a bullet point kind of girl, right? So I'm going to share with you my bullet points. And of course, there's going to be a story or something to go with each of them so you understand what I'm saying. But the reason it's important for me, you guys, the reason it is important for me to tell you guys this vision is because this is my vision. This may not be your vision. Okay. So you may be like, well, that's great and good for you, Tammy, but I have a different vision for my team. So please don't think that what I'm sharing with you is like what everybody has to have. Okay. Like this is personal to me. This is how I feel about all of you. Okay. All right. Let me put on my readers. So the first thing that I always want to lead off with the team is it's a mindset. And that mindset is instead of saying if, we would use the word and. So there's so many times in life where people will be like, well, if I can do this, or if I'm able to go there, or if that works out. And I want that mindset to be and when it works out, and when I go there, and when I do this. Because far too often we cut ourselves short and we doubt ourselves before we're even out of the gate. And I want to foster an environment where it's all about and. So when people are like, you hear it all the time, I'm so busy at work right now. If I had more time, I could do this. No, I'm so busy at work right now. And that's why it's so important for me to do this, because I want to change that schedule. It's that just total shift in mindset that I constantly want to be nurturing. And the reason I put that first is because I am in this bad boy all day and it's always things coming at me. And I have to think, how can I word that back? How can I and this back? And so some of you may get annoyed with me when you're trying to vent and tell me all the woes. And it's not that I don't hear it. It's not that I don't pay attention, but I am purposely trying to change the mindset in any conversation that we have, because that's the environment I want for you. My second bullet point is that I want to focus on other people's health and happiness first. Like I said, it gets to where we get aggravated about a promo, or we get worried about, credits didn't come through right, or blah, 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 blah. And then the base core of all of this, it's about people's health and wellness. It's about their happiness with whether, you guys know, those of you that wear Black Label, Thrive literally can help people be happy. Like truly can help people feel happiness. And clearly it affects people's health. And so I just always want to make sure that I keep that in mind when we are getting frustrated with a customer, or we're getting frustrated with, maybe a product release or whatever it is. The grand scheme of things is we're here to keep people healthy and happy. And we're here to do that first and foremost. So yes, I love getting my auto bonus every month, but if I'm getting my auto bonus and I'm not helping people, I'm just, selling to weirdos that walk past my window, that's not the business that I want to have. So that to me was bullet point number 2. And number 3, and this is going to have a long story with it, so I hope you're prepared. But it's funny how, stuff happens. It's divine intervention. But I was having a conversation yesterday with a gal, and it led me to this. And I actually did put this on Facebook yesterday. One of my missions, or the vision for my team, is that we leave people better than we found them. And here is where I'm coming from with that. I have a really good friend who actually put something on Facebook a couple days ago. And I was like, well, that's not like her. It was about feeling empty and feeling sad. And I was like, red alert. So I immediately called her. I was like, hey, what's going on? I just saw this post. This is not like you. She was like, well, I'm better today. I'm like, okay, well, you're better today, but what happened yesterday? Like, why? Where is this coming from? This is like, did someone make you mad? Did someone hurt your feelings? A network marketer, follow me here, kids, sent a message to my friend who had a baby a year ago, and said, not a good friend, like this is just a Facebook friend that sent her this. Are you still trying to lose some of that baby weight? I have brownie batter in a spoon that will really help get that off of you. This woman has worked for a year. She exercises, she eats right, she looks great. She's a girl who's had a baby. And so she's like, oh my gosh, I need to lose, and that message, that one message that, and I said right away when she told me what the person said, I'm like, let me guess, they were selling this brownie batter. She's like, oh yeah. And it just like, this is why when I say on your reach outs that we have to get to know these people from a human level, because that one quick message that girl most likely copied and pasted, I saw it. It was very canned. And I'm sure she copied it and she went through anyone on her list who had a baby under like a year or so or younger. And she just shot it out there. Because why? Because she's trying to get whatever. Yeah, Tango will cut them. I know. Trust me. I went through all the emotions. But so literally my friend's message said, it just put me in a tailspin. I've worked so hard. I've been so open with the world about how hard I'm working. And it cut me like a knife. And I thought about it all day. No matter what I did, I could not quit thinking about it. So that to me, we have to realize every conversation we have with another human, whether it's business related or not, we have power in our words. And so if we aren't using words that leave people in a better place than the way we found them, I'm not saying we have to fix people, because Lord knows we can't do that. We can help people. We can't fix people, but we sure as hell don't need to be the reason that somebody doesn't feel good about themselves when they walk away from something from us. So just keep that in mind the next time you send a message for any reason, whether you're just maybe reminding somebody about a promo or you're just having a conversation. I always ask questions of them and find out what's important to them. I don't just go in and say, hey, I've got this product that'll help you lose weight. I've got this product that'll help you sleep better. I don't know them unless they've told me this is my goal. I don't know enough about someone and what they're going through to tell them that. So that yesterday, I was literally in the middle of writing, like trying to come up with my stuff. And that whole thing happened because, it was overwhelming to do the vision. So I got on Facebook, I was scrolling, but that was like, that's divine intervention, because that is exactly the thing I do not want us to be like. I do not want my team preying basically like, vultures on people. So I told you that was a long story with that one. Number 4, to show people they are capable of more than they've ever thought. And I hope that you guys get that from me on a daily basis. I am always saddened and shocked by how short people see themselves. Not physically short, Sonia. But so, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I tried this one time and it didn't work. And that goes back to that mentality that I want, that instead of if or the but, like I want it to be and. And so I hope that every day when you come to me with something, that I help you realize that you can do more. How many of you on here thought you couldn't be a promoter? How many thought you couldn't do a reel? How many thought you would die if you had to go live? How many of you thought you could never speak on stage? And you're all here right now. So I hope that I every day instill in you that you can do more than you realize. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to want to vomit when you're first walking up there, but you're going to do it and you're going to make it. I would never ask you to do something that I didn't think you could do. And then lastly, and this is kind of a big one, to push, I use that word on purpose, to push people to dream big and step outside of themselves, to dream of making an impact and to dream of the legacy. And so this goes back to a lot of what I talked about last week. When people are trying to come up with the vision and they're struggling to imagine a better life than they already live because they think that feels selfish, I want you to think outside of yourselves. I want you to think about the big picture, what you could be doing. You know, yes, I want you to shoot for the car. Yes, I want you to shoot for the trips because I think you should be rewarded. You should get all the good stuff, but don't stop yourself there because you don't feel like you're worthy, because you could be the avenue of which Jesus funnels the money that then gets put into someone else's pocket. Like we talked about last week. If you're like, I have a great house, good, buy someone else a house. You know, I have every appliance I can need. Great. Find somebody who doesn't and spend that extra money you're making and buy them a refrigerator and buy these people something else. Think outside of yourselves. Make sure that you're like if you were on my leader retreat, you'll all get this, like God-sized goals, like dream big. You are able to do things in your life that you can't fathom, but that's what life is all about. Think about all the things you've done. That is what life is all about. Literally thought I would die over lives. I know, I remember, and I still get I go to do a live tomorrow with a gal in boot camp, and she sent me the message and I was like, okay, yep, let's do it, 6 p.m., let's go. But I always get that little vomit at first. Number 5. Oh, so the last one, to push people to dream big and step outside of themselves. And then below it, it just says dream of impact and dream of legacy. And so you can see how this is different than goals. Like my goal may be 200K. My goal may be 6 new auto bonus earners. That's a target that we're going to work for, that we're going to, do daily income producing activities for. But the vision is what I want to guide it with. So when you come to me and you're like, I'm not going to hit 12K, I'm going to look at you and we're going to focus on how many people you've helped be healthy and happy. And I'm going to remind you that you're better now than you were before. And I'm going to put that attitude on it versus, well, crap, you're a loser. You didn't get 12K this month, which I know you guys all know me and I wouldn't say that anyway. But believe it or not, there are some people, well, there's a lot of people in business in general, but there are some leaders that would say that to people. So this is what, when I think of the dream team, this is what I think of. And I'm sure I could talk for hours about other things that I think of when I think of you guys, but this is how I want to lead. And the reason I'm sharing this with you, so you can understand where I'm coming from. So when I do a Zoom and maybe I'm mean or blunt or whatever, this is where it's coming from. It's not because I'm chasing money. It's not because I'm chasing whatever. I mean, hello, if I was going to chase 200K, I've done this for 7 years now. If chasing 200K was my only goal, I would have done it a long time ago and moved on. This is what I want. I want to have an impact with people. And those people could be our customers. Those people could be you. It could be our promoters. It could be our team. So keep that in mind when I say something on a Zoom that's a zinger. Okay. Because I know sometimes I throw out some zingers. It means we need it and we are selling ourselves short. Exactly. And you guys will hear that from me a lot. There's no one on our team that is not freaking amazing and phenomenal, but everyone on our team forgets that about themselves. And that's my job. I take that very personal. It's my job to remind you of that. But here's the other reason I'm sharing this with you. If at any time you're like, damn girl, you're a little wrapped up in the dollars this week, or wow, Tammy, that wasn't a very nice thing to say. Like not a zinger where I'm like trying to tell you something. You have my permission to be like, remember that Zoom you did about vision? Like, I think you're off your vision, because I feel like I want to be held accountable also. Because you guys know we're in tons of chats during the day, especially all the boot campers. My gosh, you're probably sick of hearing me. But this has been so helpful for me, because now instead of being like, oh my God, I will literally leave work after training 2 clients and be like, oh, 26 messages. Okay, breathe. But it helps me now because I'm like, okay, all right, let's get in there. Like who needs a pep talk? Who are we going to get healthy again? Like that helps me. So hopefully now that I've spent one Monday telling you how to come about your vision, and now I'm sharing with you what it means. And again, this is what it means to me. And to me, it was bullet points with stories attached. Some people, it's like a whole giant paragraph. It's whatever, however you express yourself. I don't care. Helping someone is the reason I don't give up, even though I'm not very successful yet. But the sheer fact you help people means you're successful. That's the thing. We are measuring ourselves from a different perspective. Okay, I do have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to share something with you that I heard, because we're always doing self-development. I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about how, so let's say we're all going to go to Kroger together. Okay, you're all in your cars, we're all headed to Kroger. We're pulling in, and we see the parking space that we want to be in, right? So we pull our car in, we park, we get out, we go inside, we buy what we need, we get back out. Okay, very efficient, right? Like we party. We are not partying at Kroger. So when you know where you want to go, you know where you want to park that car, you know what you need off your list, you can get in and out of Kroger pretty darn quickly, right? Like you can achieve these things. Well, now imagine yourself again, we're all pulling back into Kroger. We see the spot, we get into the spot, but then we see out of the corner of our eye another spot. Like that one's a little bit better. I think that one looks better. It's better. I'm gonna back my car up. I'm gonna go get in that spot. And then right before we hit park, a spot right by the front door opens up. We're like, oh my God, I'm going back into that spot. We are never getting our asses into Kroger, because we are constantly looking. We're comparing where we are to someplace else. We're constantly looking for the next best thing. And before you know it, Kroger's is closed, and we have moved our car 7 times. Okay. Decide where you want to go and park it. Park it. Now, I'm not saying you're going to park it forever. We don't stay in Kroger our whole life, but you gotta decide where you want to be, park yourself there firmly, get done what you need to get done, get everything off your grocery list. And then once your grocery list is full and done, and you've paid for it, you've paid your dues, you've met the mark, you've got all the stuff you need, then you can get in your car and go someplace else. But don't go in another parking space. Get the hell out of the parking lot and go someplace else. Are you following me? So the next time you see somebody achieving something and you're like, damn, I didn't do that, I don't feel successful. Girl, put your car in park. And TJ, put your car in park and realize you are successful. And this is your spot. And this is where you're going to be. And in this spot, like maybe this is the spot where you're going to stay until you hit 12K. What's on your grocery list to hit 12K? How many customers do you need? How many promoters do you need? What's your volume that you need? You get all that stuff off your list, you can get back in that car, you can go to the next parking lot, which by the way is the 40K parking lot. Okay. But if you're constantly in that parking lot and you are just moving around because you think somebody has a better spot, or this one gets more sunshine, or this one's closer to the door, or I don't know, this one just looks better and this one looks crooked, you are not keeping your eye on the goal. You know who that was? Grant Cardone. I go in spurts with Grant. Some days I'm like, Grant, talk to me. And some days I'm like, Grant, stop yelling at me. But I do love me some Grant Cardone. But I did, yeah, I thought that was, if you really think about it, every time you take your eye off of what you want to do because you're looking at somebody else, you're never going to get to where you want to go. So anyway, that's my vision. That's my parking lot analogy. And now you have 10 minutes to pee and get something to drink, and then you can hop on with Paul. So I will put this on the, not on the Zoom, on the YouTube, so you can share this with your teams, and please share this with your teams. And now that you have 10 minutes, share with your teams and remind them that Paul is coming on in 10 minutes. Okay, bye.